Welcome to News Laundry Chota Hafta. For the full episode, subscribe because it is behind the paywall and only subscribers get access to uncut, complete content. News Laundry Hafta is our weekly wrap of all that made the news, all that didn't, and all that should have and all that shouldn't have. We agree, we disagree, we critique, and occasionally we beat each other up. But it's all good fun. Subscribe.
This is a News Laundry podcast and you're listening to NL Hafta.
अंग्रेज अपना लगान और न्यूज़ लॉन्ड्री अपना हफ्ता कभी नहीं छोड़ते. We are back with another episode of Hafta. It is Thursday, the 27th of May, 3:18 p.m. in the afternoon. And three of us are in office. Our panel consists of 5 overall. We don't have any external guests today. I thought let's all have an in-house chat. So in the News Laundry office is Mehraj Lone. Hi, Mehraj.
Hello.
Manisha Pandey.
Hello.
Joining us from his home in the NCR region is Raman Kripal. Hi, Raman sir.
Hi.
And Anand Vardhan joins us from Patna. Hi, Anand.
Hello.
So before we get into the headlines, which Manisha shall tell us, just wanted to remind everybody, this is a Chota Hafta. If you're listening to this without being a paying subscriber of News Laundry, you're probably listening to Chota Hafta, which is outside the paywall. It's on YouTube and it's on all other podcast platforms as well. I hope you enjoy it. If you're a student, do take the benefit of our student subscription, where your subscriptions are paid for by other people who sponsor student subscriptions. If you are not in an earning capacity right now, then fine, that's just as well. Try to get around our paywall. But if you are earning, consider subscribing, because there's no point whining about how the news is failing you. And you shall see that very spectacularly done this week on Nuisance by Manisha. She has got an amazingly eye-opening and funny nuisance episode that shows how advertising completely kills public interest journalism.
Wow, that's really setting up some expectations.
So yeah, so expectations managed. Mufat khoro, mufat ki khalo, lekin jo paise de sakte ho.
It really isn't like much of a preview because both go around the same time. Both go up around the same time, right?
News Laundry and...
In fact, Newsons goes up before Hafta does.
Correct.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So go to newslaundry.com, click on the subscribe button and pay to keep news free, because when the public pays, the public is served. On that note, Manisha, do tell us what the headlines are.
3 people died in Odisha and 1 person was killed in West Bengal on Wednesday as Cyclone Yas hit India's eastern coast, bringing heavy rain and high-speed winds. The governments of West Bengal and Odisha evacuated more than 11 lakh people ahead of the landfall of Cyclone Yas. There was some very interesting reporting happening around this in Bengal and Odisha. The Indian Medical Association's Uttarakhand unit has sent a defamation notice to Ramdev for his remarks on modern medicine. Ramdev should be booked under sedition charges. That is the IMA writing to the Prime Minister of the country. Tehelka founder-editor Tarun Tejpal was acquitted in a sexual assault case last week. Tejpal was accused of assault on a colleague in a Goa hotel in 2013 during the Think Fest. People of Lakshadweep are protesting over new reforms, quote-unquote, introduced by the Union Territory's Administrator Praful Koda Patel.
If you haven't seen our explainer on this, Mehraj will tell you a little bit about this in the Hafta.
Yeah. A report in the New York Times has suggested that India's actual toll from COVID could be about double the official count in an optimistic case scenario and up to nearly 14 times the recorded numbers in a worst case scenario. Pharmaceutical company Moderna declared that its coronavirus vaccine was found to be safe and effective on children aged between 12 and 17. The Supreme Court has observed that the fear of death due to COVID-19 can't become the basis for granting bail to anyone. Meanwhile, Umar Khalid has written his first letter from jail saying that I have not spent a day or night in my cell without extreme anxiety. The Aurangabad bench of the Bombay High Court on Tuesday recorded that at least 113 out of the 150 ventilators provided by the centre under the PM CARES funds were faulty.
In fact, this is not just limited to the PM CARES fund. A lot of ventilators and oxygenators that are out in the market are Chinese goods. Enough said.
Yeah, and also when this last year when they were bought the first batch apparently with the PM CARES money, I mean there was a lot of allegations about crony capitalism. They had given these to some of their own people to make, and obviously they turned out faulty to a Gujarat company.
How strange. I mean, they should have just got in touch with the Haryana government who's distributing Coronil The Haryana government has placed an order of this, whatever the Corona packet, health packet of Baba Ramdev.
That
1 lakh.
includes Coronel also.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Chalo, then we are fine.
WhatsApp has moved the Delhi High Court against the centre's new social media rule. WhatsApp said that the new social media law violate right to privacy. There was also a lot of rumor mongering around Twitter being banned and shut, and then Twitter's offices were raided
Which
by the
idiot
Delhi
fell
police.
for that, man? Do you know
I don't know.
any chutia who fell for that? I don't know.
Apparently, lots of people.
Apparently, there was this guy,
Twitter office
CEO of some news laundry type, also fucking tweeted that up.
being all alarmist, saying, "Ab Iran ban gaya hamara
अबे
desh."
अब bloody what are these people? I don't know
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they are. But एक मेरी वो tweet से मतलब स्मिता प्रकाश and Vivek Agnihotri had to go at me.
It's amazing. I was so amazed that one tweet is all it took for them to like, wow, we finally have an
And it
opportunity
was
to
up
jump
for
at him.
3.5 minutes.
I mean, 1 minute, I think, not even 3.5 minutes. But
That
yeah,
means
Twitter
people
offices.
are always watching and
What I'm tweeting. Yeah.
The special cell went to Twitter's office also this week, and there was no one in the office, but they
that is
anyway
a big story.
did a
Served
little
an
excursion.
Hmm.
Protesting farmers observed a nationwide resistance day to mark 6 months of protests at the borders of the national capital over the farm laws. The National Human Rights Commission has issued notices to the Delhi, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh governments over allegations of flouting of COVID safety norms by farmers protesting at the border. So it's very convoluted.
So the NHRC is worried about the
Spread of COVID.
health of the human rights of
Yeah.
those who may be affected because of the farmers' agitation. Chalo, very good. They've woken up at very opportune time.
There are some people stealing shrouds from graves right now.
Yes, in not some people, it is the administration who's
That's precisely what I'm saying. So there's this expression in Urdu, it's called kafan chor. I mean, Saadat Hussain Manto has written about it. I mean, that's the lowest of the lowest person morally.
and that is with.
I mean, that's what they're doing right now.
Republic Bangla's reporter has been suspended because there was an FIR filed against him for impersonating CBI officer, abducting and extortion. You can read this report, this fascinating report on our website for more on that.
So what happened is they sent this administrator to Lakshadweep. He is a former home minister, junior home minister of Gujarat. His name is Praful Khoda Patel. So what he did is basically, in nutshell, it's a Hindutva corporatist project, basically. So as soon as he went there, sweeping changes. First is Gunda Act they brought in. Lakshadweep has one of the lowest crime rates in the country. I mean, apparently from what I've heard from people is, I mean, police stations are usually empty. There's nobody. I mean, jails are empty.
It's
There
just
isn't so much
70,000
crime.
people, right?
Yeah. So one is that. Another is ban on beef. School midday meals, there will be no meat. It will be like vegetarian fare. There are these sheds, these facilities for, because it's obviously an island community, so lots of fishermen, fisher folk. So there are these facilities for them to store their equipment and stuff. That will be taken over. They're building new roads, so-called development. They'll be raising some homes and other like property in a place which has like minimal vehicular traffic. All this is, I mean, this
And
is
ecologically
basically, if you
sensitive.
really think about it, this is just a religious war. That island is 97% Muslim. And you're banning meat in a
midday.
place which is like everybody eats seafood,
Right.
pretty much.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
ridiculous.
I think if there
So
was.
there is
and it's gotten
another
so bad.
important point, that is acquiring land.
Yes.
The government can acquire land, which is means they are moving towards corporatization, which is on cards for a very long time.
And Lakshadweep was our answer to
Maldives.
Maldives.
Yeah.
I've never been to Lakshadweep, but Maldives are stunningly beautiful. But I know people who've gone to Lakshadweep for
Supposed to be very
snorkeling and stuff.
beautiful.
It's supposed to be stunningly beautiful.
Another thing is, I mean, this is sort of a move to break the old cultural and linguistic and other ties. So instead of getting their supplies from Kerala, which is like obviously because it's closer and they have the traditional and cultural ties with them, they'll now be forced to go to Karnataka, to Mangalore,
I see. Okay.
to the Mangalore port.
I'm just looking at pictures of Lakshadweep. It is really stunning, yeah?
It is, but
It's
I mean, it's
gorgeous.
pristine, and now they're bringing in all this stuff. One, to environment they'll destroy with all this building activity, and they're, like Raman sir said, they're taking over a lot of land, and that is one part of it. And another is this sort of religious attack on the religious identity of the people.
I think it consists of 2 islands spread over 45 kilometer, and this Lakshadweep has been preserved. A kind of if you can call them tribals or whatever. tribal park. Okay, there is a very minimal impact of the outsiders in Lakshadweep, and you also have a very minimal staff, uh, 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 in Lakshadweep. So, and people are very cordial, and it has been used as a tourist spot, but it is still quite virgin. Not many people go over there. So all of a sudden, when someone who was popular during the Modi's administration, when Modi was the CM, he was, I think, home minister at that time too. He's pretty close to Modi. So anyone who is close to Modi, I mean, they speak louder than their master when it comes to the Hindutva, philosophy or ideology, whatever. So that's the first thing that he did. Obviously, I think it had to rake up a lot of muck, because everything is insensible. You are asking people who eat meat, you are asking them to, I mean, that's the staple food. You are asking them to not to eat that. Okay, then you want to acquire their land, which is absolutely foreign to these people. I mean, somebody come and will acquire their land. Say if somebody has got 10 acre and is cultivating on those 10 acres, so his 8 acre will go, and the administration will try to sound, like in many other places, that yes, we will give you the compensation. In a rape case, there are no witnesses mostly. Okay, so the victim becomes the major witness in all the rape cases. In this particular case also, the victim had given her 164th statement before the magistrate, and the prosecution always tries to tell that this witness is absolutely credible, and she this has happened to her, and there is no major contradiction in whatever she has told. What has happened, that a new truth was created in the court. That's the sense I'm getting so far. Okay, the new truth. And someone who has gone to court so many times during my 32, 33 year of stint as a journalist, so I know the truth outside the court and the truth as being created in the court. So far, the 100 pages I have read, they are creating a narrative to discredit her as a witness. For example, I called up, if say I'm a victim, and if I had called up Abhinandan, say on 12th January at 11:05 a.m. So, and I have written in my statement that I was not talking to Abhinandan, about this case. Okay, uh, but since I had called him up, and at that time I did not point out, so that is being held against me as a victim. That why you are saying that you have not spoken with Abhinandan, but you had called. They have taken out her call records, and you have called that person. So, for example, in this particular case, the victim had called up Indira Jaising, and she had not written about it in the statement, so it was held up against her. Okay, now, so there is a consistently she has been discredited as a witness, and since we have just the only witness in this case is she, so discrediting her and then winning this case, I mean, that's what has happened. I mean, that's what the sense I get. The second thing, which I have not reached to so far, but I have read through the newspapers, that how a rape victim should behave. I think this is something that the judge has come up with her own narrative. Okay, so that I will not speak much about it, but I'm saying this one point after reading the newspaper reports. And the third thing, which is going to be very interesting, and I really want to, when I go through the entire thing, then I will know. The key witnesses like Shoma Chaudhary and all, because it was an in-camera proceedings. We did not know 71 witnesses were there.
Right.
What did they speak? We have no idea about that. So I also am very keen to know that how have the court has said that Tarun Tejpal has tendered apology, under stress, under pressure.
Under duress.
So under pressure. So I want to see that how was it under the pressure. So I want to see what Shoma Chaudhary has said over there. So I haven't read Abhi. I've read just 100 pages.
Hmm.
So
So,
it's too
about
long,
this
so-
apology, they have the court has actually explained it a bit, not properly. What they're saying is the personal and this is a direct quote: the personal apology was not sent voluntarily by the accused, but it was sent due to the explicit pressure and intimidation by the prosecutrix, which I suppose refers to the young woman, to on on prosecution witness 45.
Which would be Shoma.
Shoma Chaudhary,
Shoma
then
Chaudhary.
managing editor, to act swiftly, and also due to the inducement and promise made by the prosecutrix, which in turn was communicated to the accused, that the matter would be closed at the institutional level if the accused were to tender an apology.
Right.
So that
So
is
that's-
But
the,
they would have had to have proof of this. It can't be just Shoma's word, no? I mean,
Yeah, they would have to have proof of this.
so
Yes, yes.
apparently, I mean, from what I understand is like there was an email chain, like according to this and according to others. So the young woman, she asked Shoma that if there was an apology, so there'll be closure. Apparently, that's what the case is. And then to sort of close the matter, there was an apology tendered. So this is a symptom of a larger problem. This case happened in 2013, right? 8 years later, we still have little clarity, let alone any sense of justice. So if you have, if at all there's going to be any justice, I mean, regardless of the merits of the case, it'll be maybe another 20 years if it goes that time.
and this was supposed to be a fast track
Yes,
court, right?
what is the point?
So I think that it's parts of the judgment are pretty badly written. I'd agree that, normative behavior of a sexual victim and stuff like that. And because not just because it pertains to this case, but once it's in writing, then this is used for other cases too. So when you're going to say normative behavior, you have to explain what normative behavior is, So I think the judgment, even if she wanted to go into inconsistencies, it could have just been about inconsistencies rather than saying how you should have behaved or that you knew yoga, so why didn't you fend yourself?
In
I mean,
fact,
she's
I
gone
don't-
into really bizarre
I
territory.
don't understand. Even the way the judgment is written in the beginning, the overall, that kind of overall thing that is written, I don't see why it can't go from point 1, 2, 3 like immediately to specifics. I don't
Yeah.
understand why judgments are written in this literature format.
Secondly, I think on the issue of whether Tejpal was in a position of trust or authority and in position of control and dominance over the prosecutress, court has ruled in the affirmative. And the court was also looking at section 354A, sexual harassment. So on this count, whether what happened in the lift or not, the circumstances around it, the inconsistencies is, that's a different matter. But I think it's a very strong case for sexual harassment at the workplace because he was in a position of power. The court has agreed to it. He was her boss. And very clearly in the apology, at the very least, he's admitted to a transgression. So this should have been, I think, to me, the centerpiece of the whole case.
absolutely.
That this is a
And it was a
case
very
of
solid
sexual
case.
harassment at the workplace. It is, it's a clear case of sexual harassment at the workplace.
And
There's
this
no
is
two ways
laid
about
out
it.
clearly in the Vishaka guidelines also.
Yeah. So I don't know. Now I'll also have to read the judgment. I haven't read it, but I don't know why there was an insistence on that and how he was let go of that charge.
I don't know.
That is something that
like, I don't know whether that's even whether there is a provision for it, but can the FIR, Raman sir, not only talk about that evening at the hotel in Goa, but can it say that his transgressions earlier in Delhi at a different time, or that has to be a separate FIR? Like, how does it work? Please subscribe and pay to keep news free. Recommend to others that we do. So on Saturday, the 29th of May, which is probably the day this has been released if you listen to this today, Saturday, the 29th of May, News Laundry Hindi will have a YouTube live interaction. So you can join that, ask questions, get feedback, and give us suggestions. Yeah, so don't forget. It will be at 7:30 p.m. India time. So wherever you're joining from, 7:30 p.m. India time, Saturday, the 29th of May. And please, can I urge you to send this week's nuisance link to as many groups as you can. Matlab bombard kar do. Become
wow,
a
you've
WhatsApp
really,
uncle.
it better be good now.
It better be.
Because you've really,
So much pressure, huh?
yeah. I think, the biggest tragedy of Ayurveda is that the likes of Ramdev have hijacked it at least at the national discourse level, because we don't know even, so Giloy is good. Everyone knows it's good. Chewing Giloy patta is excellent for your immunity and all that. And if you develop medicines on it, they have to pass a certain test. So for example, heavy metals, how much, lead should it have? It has to have some, like German traditional medicines. They are also big. Like if you go to a pharmacy in Germany, you'll have all these, products there which are herbal and stuff like that, but they go through rigorous standards. It can't be poisoning you at the same time. So one thing is that even if Ayurveda has to develop as a credible system, it has to go through some proper.
I was like, Ayurveda is a credible system. I mean,
Sorry.
you're
I
talking
mean,
about
no. I'm saying if Ayurveda has to, as an alternate, let's say, to like modern medicine or whatever, as an alternate stream of, medical help or whatever, the medicines that these people develop then have to go through proper rigorous testing, and there has to be guidelines, which in Ramdev's case, we don't know what his medicines, what are they made of or what do they do? So that's a huge problem. And the problem is also, I think, trying to mirror modern science. So Ayurveda is a completely different system. It's a lifestyle thing almost. And it's the smallest course that you have in Kerala Ayurvedic schools are like 1 month. Like you can't go there for even 14 days and do a course and come back. Most of these people will insist on a 1 month course. And then it's years of, following the same thing and then developing a lifestyle and then coming to changes. So it's not supposed to be an effective thing, like a Disprin that you pop and you're fine. And trying to compete with that system is also stupid. Why does Ramdev want to say that, I'm going to cure corona in 15 days? Why? Like, you can't.
Now, I don't understand but like Anand said, I think Ramdev is completely, and I think this is so ironic, considering both Ramdev and Sadhguru pretend to be men of heightened and lofty spiritual state or an understanding of the inner self. They are petty. They have the egos of schoolyard bullies. Someone didn't call him Sadhguru, how he flipped out. Ramdev was such a publicity hungry jerk during the Jan Lokpal movement, and I've related that incident many times here, how he was taken off stage because he thought he'd get beaten up by the other volunteers.
He was also in a hospital lying flat on the bed because of the hunger strike.
So, I think the fact is that the ego is to be fed. So he wants to be the leading jeans Vikreta. He wants to be the leading Chavanprash seller. He wants to be the leading yoga seller. He wants to be the leading light. Which, man of heightened spirituality says, kisi ke baap ki himmat hai mujhe arrest kare. Even someone who is satisfied with his grihasti will not say that. He wouldn't give a fuck. But like your nuisance has shown, I think it's a very important nuisance, the one this week. And please share it with as many groups as you can. Because it not only makes the point of what a petty man this guy is, structurally, institutionally, it shows how rotten and hollow our media circus is. Like, an anchor is calling out Ramdev and pretending to jhado him and saying, now we'll go in for an ad break, and the ad, Ramdev is discrediting modern medicine. It's so problematic, but
this, I think, is a larger problem with this. So see, you created an Ayush ministry, whatever the merits, demerits. Now you have the ministry. Use it for some good. Do research on Ayurveda, right? Do research on Unani. Homeopathy, so you leave aside. Do good research. Bring experts. Try to study these things. Instead, what you have done is, because you want to subsume everything under your own ideological project, and because that ideological project needs people like Ramdev and Sadhguru, who are basically con men.
They are your influencers. Yeah.
So you have the health minister. Ignominy of the health minister going and selling that stuff. Corona. 2 ministers, in fact, going and selling that corona thing. You could easily have done, have a rigorous process like you have for other stuff. Let's
set it up. Yeah, correct.
You have Ayurveda medicine, give it to us. We'll try and see if actually works or not.
Get a patenting thing done for Ayurveda, so you can have Indian MNCs taking neem to the world rather than an American company patenting neem. I remember during the whole thing that, when an American company had patented neem for use in I don't know what. But all of you listening in, the Chota Hafta, do subscribe so you can listen to the entire Hafta. We will see you again next week with the Hafta. Till then, subscribe, pay to keep news free, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Thank you. Goodbye.
All the News Laundry podcasts are available on Stitcher, iTunes, and any other podcast platform.
Please subscribe to News Laundry. Help us keep news independent. To catch all our podcasts on news, pop culture, current affairs, and sport, visit newslaundry.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sun liya Afrika, mufat khoro. Not to brag or anything, but News Laundry Hafta features in the top 50 in the world on SoundCloud in the news and politics category for podcasts. So do subscribe and see what you're missing, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Subscribe, help keep news independent and free. All News Laundry podcasts are available on iTunes and Stitcher and any other podcast platform.